Well, here he is. It's the juggernaut himself, Joe Joyce, looking rugged and handsome. I even said skinny before I pressed the record button. You do look very well, though, Joe. Has lockdown treated you well?
Yeah, it's been all right actually. Yeah, I mean, I've enjoyed a lot of it. Obviously, it's a shame that the fight got cancelled, well, postponed, and I had to make a quick getaway back to the UK and leave sunny Vegas. But yeah, I got a chance to just relax and chill out and play some video games, and it was all right for a bit until I got really bored. And I don't know, but it's good. I got a chance to go out on my bike and go for cycles and stuff like that. So I guess that was all right. And the roads were pretty clear as well.
Yeah. Oh, tell me about it. It was amazing.
Drive and stuff, but
it was amazing. Wasn't it?
There's not really much else to do, is there? All the shops are closed. You can't go to a restaurant. It was tough.
It's funny. I mean, I was in America until March I came home quickly on March the 15th. I was at a Bellator event in Connecticut. And obviously they're coming back now as well. Back to the same place, Mohegan Sun. I don't know if you've ever been there in Connecticut. It's the second or third biggest resort in America. And when Trump made that announcement on the Friday afternoon that all flights were closing to the UK, do you remember that?
Yeah.
Did you just have booked to get out then at that point?
Yeah, so I found that out on, I think it was like during the week, and we managed to get a flight back on the Sunday, and the last flight would have been the Tuesday. So
yeah, same, absolutely same. And I came out through JFK, and you wondered whether you were going to be. Then UK locked down the Monday afterwards, didn't it?
Yeah, and it was quite strange being back, and everything's like there's nothing on the shelves in the supermarket. I was going shopping, like I've been away for so long, I need to get shopping, and like going in there is like it was crazy. Like there's nothing on the shelves, so like, I had to try like different shops. But what was a good bet was the garages. There's a lot of garages near where I live where they got, I don't know, M&S and I don't know, Waitrose and different stuff like that. So they got like supermarkets in there. So that was my best bet to get some supplies.
Mask and gloves at that point, were you?
I had the hand sanitizer. I had this hand gel that I bought back from the States, which was pretty good. Had like moisturizer in it, so my hands were a bit sticky, but at least they were like clean or whatever.
So Joe Joyce was going out on bike rides, walking around London with sticky hands all the time, yeah?
No, I'm in Surrey. I was in London. I've got fields over there. And I can walk and run and stuff like that, yeah. Lucky I wasn't stuck in London.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel for people who like live in like, flats and apartments or big blocks and that, and they can't really, there's not like, especially where parts of London where they haven't got much greenery, and all the parks start closing and stuff, so you can't really do anything. Like I remember when I first got back,
going to under 5, or you got 3 kids under 5 as well, you know?
Yeah, crazy. Like wrecking the house every day, and it must be so frustrating for them as well. No school, no nursery or anything like that.
Yeah, but I went on roads during the I must have done, I always say, I mean, I must have done 700 miles in lockdown. I've got like cross a hybrid bike, go out in the farmers' fields and everything, trails. And, there was a point when we were locked down when I was doing just 10 miles a day, 12 miles a day, just going for an hour and just going. And it was amazing. And it was
great. The roads are clear, so you could just cycle everywhere.
No helmet, no lids that you'd normally not ever go on because there's too much traffic. You could go 2 or 3 miles on to get to the field you wanted to go to or something. It was quite incredible,
What I'd have liked to have done was gone around central London, but it's a bit of a cycle from here. It's going to be probably like 2 hours or so.
Yeah. Did you learn things about yourself? There was that period, weeks 1 to 5, everyone was really curious and it was weird. 5 to 9 was like loneliness kicked in. And then 9 to 15, it was like everyone was navigating a route out of it almost. Do you know what I mean? And things were changing the whole time. What did you learn in those periods about yourself?
Not much that I don't already know. I kind of am quite happy in solitude and with my own company, so it's good to. So it's plenty of me time, which I enjoy. But then it can get a bit much, like after a while.
Did you? How did you? Obviously, you knew you weren't going to fight until. In fact, when did you know you were going to fight?
Well, not just recently that
Really?
I spoke to Sam and Adam, and they're saying, "Oh, you got a potential date coming up." I was like, "What?" In July, I was like, "That's a quick turnaround." And obviously, I was pretty fit-ish. You know, I was carrying on being active, so hit the ground running or cycling, or whichever.
But were you in touch with Adam the whole time during lockdown in terms of what you were, you know, talking about what you should have been doing, you know, going through your rhythms, keeping your stuff rolling, keeping yourself...
You talking about Salas or Adam Morelli?
Yeah, all of them, all of the guys, you know, that really... Were you getting instructions from everyone on what you should be doing? Because no one knew at one point. I mean, you could have been locked down. We could have been locked down for 6 months. And so,
yeah.
You know, were you getting guidance on, you know, go through your rhythm, shadow box, do your cycling, but do this, but do that? How often were you in contact with your boxing mentors, if you like?
But yeah, I rang up Salas a couple of times and FaceTimed him and that to see how things were going. And he kept on showing me like stuff with his gym where he's like, you know, like putting the finishing touches of it and stuff. And he's even like doing some bags, and he got his son doing pads. He's a very smart guy, his son, and he's normally on the iPad. You normally see him on an iPad, but it was quite good to see him like practicing some boxing technique.
Nice. I mean, and how are you going to do it around this event? Obviously, he can't get here, can he? So, you know, and I wanted to know. A lot of people have said, why does Joe move around so many trainers?
Yeah.
You know, you've had Adam and Adam, you've had Salas, you've had Abel Sanchez. Why so many shifts, or are you just tailor making?
It's only three. It's only three.
Right.
It's a trifecta. I started with Ismail Salas when I was under David Hay and Richard Schaefer as that promotional deal, and then I moved to Abel Sanchez in Big Bear, and then I came back and got with Adam Booth, and then I went back to Salas. So I've only just gone around in like a triangle,
Right?
And I've only had three different trainers as a professional.
Is that designed around where you are, really?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, early on, I was in the Haymaker gym, training alongside David, and he got in Ismail Salas to come and train both him and the rest of the team, the stable, and it then kind of came a thing where I was kind of following Salas around. Like I went to the Sumanov camp in Kazakhstan, for example, or I did my first 2 training camps in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And kind of trained alongside Jorge Linares as well. And then it wasn't until he was a bit injured, like his shoulder and his elbow. I don't know. Come on, he's been taking punches from me, David, and whoever else over years and years. So he was kind of a bit run down. So then he was thinking of retiring. So Sam and Adam decided we need to get sort out a new trainer. So Adam Booth and also Abel Sanchez was on the list, and so both me and Sam went out to Big Bear to go and try out Abel, And then I liked Abel, and I liked his methods, and I liked training out there. So I had a couple of fights under him, but then I was kind of in limbo because I didn't really have a place here in England to stay. Like, obviously after my fight and my training camps, and then so it was a bit difficult. So then then Adam Booth became available to train under him. So then I obviously jumped at the chance and started training back here. And I was like, I moved to Surrey to be closer to the gym and close to Adam, and things were going really good. And I had a choice of some upcoming fights. Hergvik was mentioned, and I was just trying to get some big fights, big names. And the Huck fight was taking a bit too long with the European for the European title, because I was going for that, and it didn't even get decided till like December, and then he ended up getting injured and having to pull out. So then that fight fell through, and then I always knew with being on doing a promotional deal with Frank Warren that Daniel Dubois would be a potential fight, and he was always like kind of wanting to have that fight to happen at some stage. And the fight got put forward to me before, but I was like, why would I want to fight domestic level against Dubois when I'm wanting to go for a world title? So then it turned out that the belts were on the line for this fight was the British, the Commonwealth, European, WBC silver, WBO. So because he got ranked three in the WBO, so I was like, all right then. And that fight is a massive fight, and it makes sense. It's so exciting for the boxing. So I was like, yeah, definitely, yeah, I'll have a piece of that. And then it's all going so well. So then I decided to go back and train with Salas, because I thought he can get the best out of me. He could get the best Joe Joyce. So, and I need to win this fight because the clock's ticking. I'm gonna be like 35 soon. So I'm not like 22 like Dubois. So I thought it's a good opportunity to take right now. So I need to get like in the best situation to win. Otherwise, it's going to set me back, and I have to build back up again. And like obviously from beating Dubois, then I can obviously go and challenge anyone for a world title. Or it puts me like right in the mix.
I remember you saying the other day in an interview with someone that it's like the old game Snakes and Ladders. If you lose to Dubois, if you lose to Wallisch, to Michael Wallisch on Friday, it's an even better ladder to climb up then, but we know your pedigree. I mean, like you say, there was a time when you were thinking, oh, why do I have the Dubois fight now? It doesn't make sense. But in terms of projection, because so much has been said about him as a very promising prospect.
Yeah, he's been built so well.
And he has.
Lots of people know about him.
I've been around a long time. I'm really excited about this fight. There's something about it. The mix-up of you two. When we came to the press conference in London, that feels like 4 years ago. Do you know what I mean?
Was it this year or was it 3 years ago? I don't know. Yeah.
January, I think. Was it January? Something like that. Early February. Because then we all went to Vegas. I think I saw you in Vegas at the Tyson thing, didn't I?
Yeah.
And like, I was out there for Conor McGregor. I went there to LA for a Bellator event. There was the huge thing with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, and then we knew we had a really big spring. Then it was Fury and Joshua was fighting in June. It was going to Chisora and Usyk. White and Povetkin,
I know.
But it was going to, whatever it was. It was a huge stack of fights, all heavyweight.
No, it's like, yes, look, this is going to be incredible. And then like, oh no, it's the ball, and then everything goes.
Yeah.
I know, gets postponed.
But it's so. what people will wonder is, for you, you've got Daniel Dubois in your mind. We're talking about October. He's going to have a fight in a couple of weeks' time. You've got this fight on Friday. How do you mentally not look beyond a Michael Wallisch? Because the guy's got a decent record, and he's not that bad a boxer.
I know he's a good boxer. Having a look at him, he's got a high guard, good European prospect. So it's not going to be. It's going to be hard. I'm going to have to be switched on, and it's going to be funny because it's going to be in a studio where there's no crowd.
Yeah.
Which is going to be a bit weird. It's going to be like an intense sparring session or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But you have to win.
It's going to be
you have to win.
Yeah, that I have to win, and look good on. And I've been out for a whole year.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's gonna be an interesting one. But I need to deal with him first before I can move on to Dynamite Dubois.
He's not really been tested, Daniel, has he? To be fair.
No.
No, I guess someone were testing, but he was very, very good against Nathan. He was very good that night, wasn't he? I mean, I thought Nathan was going to give him more of a test, But
so did I. I thought it'd be a lot closer than how it turned out.
His jab was very good that night. Daniel jabbed very well, but I don't think he can do the same against you. I think he's there for the right counter as well, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw with Richard Larty, he took a bit of a wobble when he took one of them shots. So, but he's going to be an all-out slugfest, and he's definitely going to come and try and knock my block off.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should say I can't wait because I'm not sure. I'm going to have to take a few thumps to the head and body by him.
Is it about how is the key in the fight with him, without overlooking Michael Wallisch? Let's just park that to the shelf on one side for a moment. I know you won't overlook him, you've said it. And you know that you look in great shape. I can see it in your face that you've been working really hard. I can see it, I was joking before we came on air, I think I was, that you could never get in a medium t-shirt. It would always be XL, but it would be...
Unless it was like sprayed on.
Yeah, exactly. It was sprayed on. We park Wallisch. This could be your route. Because if you beat him, you will fight again down the line as well, won't you? That's almost a guarantee. Because you're going to go... I think if you beat Daniel Dubois, you're going to head towards title shots. There's no question about it. You're going to go into that orbit where Fury, Joshua, Wilder, White, and Usyk inhabit at the moment. Do you know what I mean? Where if Usyk can beat Chisora, that is, because people want to see all that group fight.
There's so many good, tasty fights going to happen.
There are.
What's it going to be? When in 2021? You think? Well, actually, starting from October. Actually,
I think
from October 24th is going to be.
Exactly. Starting on October 24th with you and Daniel Dubois, of course. I think if crowds can't return, and I think there is an issue with crowds returning more than promoters are saying, I think boxers may have to accept what they get on the pay-per-view. Some of these big fights just going to have to go on pay-per-view with no crowd. I
saw something today where they're saying in October that then. But we'll see.
Look at the state of America. Look at the state of America with it spreading.
Which state?
All of them. Really? Well, look at Florida. Look at Los Angeles. It's an epicenter for coronavirus at the moment. I cannot see people. I cannot see 15,000 people going to a stadium to see an event at the moment and not worrying about their safety. I cannot see 15,000 people socially distancing when they've had a couple of beers and they're watching a boxing match. I cannot see it.
Uh-huh. Or the pubs are open first, I see.
No, I know. So maybe it's just night of the zombie apocalypse that people will just go, and you know, and they will take the risk of getting coronavirus. But in terms of it happening,
I mean,
you know,
as well with the
on Friday, you're fighting with 65 people in an arena. That's it. That's everybody for 5 fights. TV crew, medical staff, boxing border control, TV filming crew, medical officials, testers, 65 people. That's all they're allowing, you know?
It's a big crowd.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, realistically, I think a lot of fights, big fights, will take place in 2021. I think there will be a few towards the end of the year, but I think certainly some of the big fights. I mean, I think, would you fight Daniel Dubois without a big crowd there?
I don't think it's one of them fights that should be without a crowd.
I agree.
I think if it's like, I mean, if it has to be postponed again, then that's the choice that's got to be made. But I'm just the boxer, so I have to wait and see what Frank Warren, because he's and how, you know, it's not up to me, and it's with the O2 as well, if they're gonna allow for an audience.
You say
I'm just gonna turn up and perform, and then whether there's a crowd or not. But I think for this fight, there definitely needs to be a crowd. So
psychologically, you feel there needs to be a crowd there for you and Dubois, psychologically even.
Yeah, and it just wouldn't have the same like magic, like like to watch it just, but at home. You need like the crowd there, because, you know, people cheering and like, and obviously when someone gets knocked out or they get wobbled or, you know, hit some good shots, you need the crowd's reaction behind like every move you make in the ring. And then when you win, you want them cheering and, wah, you know, it's that energy that, you know, is so exciting about boxing. And to have it like just in front of a TV or computer screen, it's not quite the same.
Have you seen any of did you see last Friday or the Friday before last? Have you seen some of the MMA events then with no crowds at this time? Have you seen it? What do you think?
Yeah, I've seen a little bit here and there, but I haven't actually sat down and watched like the whole thing. But I've seen how you know, well they are, you know, keeping everything hygienically, like cleaning everything afterwards, and everyone's got all their PPE gear on and stuff like that. So it is, and I've heard about how well that things are prepared and etc.
But when you watch it, do you think, I'm going to have to do that, and I'm going to have to do that without the crowd noise, with a 20-second walk to the arena where I warm up in a 3x3 meter space?
Well, there'll be plenty of space in the dressing room, like, won't there?
No, I think they're tiny.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
You know, what did you make of the first Queensbury event? I mean, it went off fairly well. We saw couple of young rising stars or prospects.
Yeah.
David
unfortunately, I didn't actually watch any of it, because I was in my VR headset, and then I forgot about it, so I didn't actually watch it. But I heard good things.
Yeah. I mean, are you very motivated then? Does when you leave your dressing room ordinarily for a fight, does something happen to you when you're in front of the crowd? Does something happen to you that makes it different? Because you fought in lots of amateur arenas where there's no crowd as well, haven't you? You know. Yeah,
I've done that, and you just, like with boxing, you got to think of, you know, you can't get too carried away with the crowd and the whole performance and the whole, you know, atmosphere of the night. You have to really like hone in on what you're there to do, because you're going to have someone like trying to punch you in the face for like 12 or so rounds. So you got to remember what you're there for. And I had to, I had to deal with that in the amateurs because we'd be boxing in an empty hall where there's only like, coaches from other countries and maybe a couple of, maybe it might be family or friends that are in this big arena. But so I'm quite used to that. And then also I've had the experience of being in the Commonwealth Games and the Olympic Games where there's like thousands of people and you're walking into arena, like it's like incredible experience when you're walking into like the opening ceremony arena. Like the amount of people there is really phenomenal. So, but similarly, I've boxed at the O2 before, and it's a great arena to come out to where there's like so much British boxing fans support. It's amazing. It's one of the best venues to box in. I used to like boxing at the York Hall. Obviously, it's traditional and it's history. But I literally know every square foot of that place. I've boxed there so many times. But that has a great setup where it's like you've got the crowd above you and
like a bear pit.
It's good to have.
It's like a bear pit, isn't it?
Yeah. I think the copper box is quite well designed as well.
Yeah, it is.
It's got the crowd like
that. Totally. So finally, I've got to ask you: is there Dubois trolls you a little bit on the internet, doesn't he? Trolls you a little bit on Twitter. Is there actually genuine bad blood between you and him? He pushed you at the press conference, and he's never put his hands on anyone before in a press conference.
It's probably because I got in his face and to rile him up a bit. But he tried to push me. I didn't go back that far, so he's not that strong, is he?
But is there is there a real animosity between you and he? Did you feel it?
Yeah, he wants to put me to sleep, so he says. And I'm not going to let him do that. I'm going to put him to sleep. And it doesn't help with like his comments towards my mum. I was going to ask you about
that. I met your mum. She's beautiful. Your mum. She's a beautiful person. She really is. Yeah.
Really bubbly personality.
But she's blind, isn't she? But people wouldn't know this. But she's blind.
Yeah. So she's got only 8% in one eye. The other eye is totally blind.
Yeah.
But she gets around without her cane and stuff. So she's quite, She climbed Kilimanjaro like 2 years ago.
She was telling me. Yeah, she was telling me.
So she doesn't let anything stop her from doing what she wants to do.
What do you think? Do you think he was aware that he was being kind of? Was he aware of your mum's sight?
I think he kind of he reacted because Mum mentioned about him, pulling a sickie in the ABAs. I think it was at the ABA finals or something like that, and that obviously got to him. So then he thought he'd say a nasty comment back.
You haven't forgotten that,
or maybe he got told to say it. I don't know. We'll see. But
it's lit a little fire in you, hasn't it? That.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, regardless, he's going to try and hit me with big shots, and I don't appreciate trying to be hit by big shots. So I'm going to retaliate. Like, I come alive in the ring and I deliver with dominant performances, with multiple punches to the head and body that he's not going to like, and he hasn't dealt with anyone like me in the ring before. So
that's true.
Not many boxers have. And I think people will realise my worth in the sport when I beat him. And I'm looking forward to that.
I think I'm looking forward to the bell for round 6 and 7, because if it gets to round 6 and 7, I think we're going to have an incredible fight on our hands, you've got your own strategies and plans, but the way I see it is, If he doesn't blow you away early, and he can't find a way to get to you, he's gonna. It's gonna be a rude awakening, you know.
And yeah, he's going to be throwing Pete. He's going to be throwing some serious shots. Try and back me up and.
Yeah, I can see you
some heavy haymakers and.
Yeah, I can see you respect what he's got, but I can see the determination very strong in you. That it's obvious. It's very obvious that you're not worried you know what he's got, but you're not worried or intimidated or you're concerned because you have to be. You're sensible. You've been in these big fights before. You've won gold medals. We all believe you won the gold medal, not Tony Yoka in Rio. It's hard to call it a robbery, but wow, you should have had the nod. You should have got the nod. And people in boxing know that. People in boxing.
I think I won the fight, but then obviously I didn't get it. But
yeah,
hey ho, it's boxing.
Yeah, but you've been
actually. My opponent Wallish has fought Yoka.
Yeah,
and another Olympic medalist in Ajagba as well. So he's he's
no mug.
No mug, yeah.
So Joe, final thing, how are you feeling about going into the bubble next week? Presumably you go into the bubble like on Monday or Tuesday. You've had a test at home already?
No, I think when I get there, I'll be be very controlled in. I'll have to stay to my room and be tested, and it will have to be very clinical and controlled.
Are you all right about that? Are you all right about that? Having to be stuck in the hotel for 3 days, 4 days?
Well, I'm going to bring my laptop, so it won't be too bad. But I mean, that's what I normally do. I normally go to the hotel and just mainly stay in my room anyway. So, but I mean, hopefully there'll be somewhere outside where I can just go and also maybe a little gym or something or somewhere where I can at least walk, go through a few techniques or something.
I think you have times where you can go and do things like that, but I think it's quite tough for people that, look at Jofra Archer in the cricket. Jofra went home, on the way to in the cricket, right? They played in Southampton. Okay. You know Jofra, yeah? The fast bowler for England.
No.
Originally West Indian, yeah? But he came over to the UK and he played for England.
All right.
Between the first test match back and the second test match, he went back home to Brighton, probably to see his girlfriend. And so he got banned from this test match that's going on now, Probably I suspect it's all in the name of love, but
I guess it must be quite tough. They have to take a swab, isn't it, up your nose and down the back of your throat? Yeah. I saw it for the first Queenbury show, what they had to do and stuff. So it's not really looking forward to that particularly, but that's hey ho, as you say.
I've had it done. It's like getting the longest skewer down your nose that you've ever had, and
just poke your brain a little bit.
Yeah, pokes your brain, but it wakes you up. It wakes you up. Listen, yeah. It's lovely to catch up with you. I hope it all goes well in fight week, and let's have another chat when you get another W under your belt. Okay, nice.
What's that?
Nice. Great to see you, Joe. Thank you very much indeed.
All right. Yeah, good. Pleasure speaking to you.